Okay guys, here we go with the beginning steps for removal of the cab on the 6.4 powerstroke. Again, we can't get the bolts loose on the up pipes. They're rounding off on us. I took a 1/2-inch drive ratchet with a long handled ratchet at 1/2-inch drive with a 6-point stubby impact socket, and it was still rounding them off. So they're just seized up in there. I mean, I tried everything. I didn't want to pull the cab. I tried soaking them with, and I was just afraid, you know, just really didn't want to stick a cutting torch back in there with a rosebud on it and try to heat them with the cab on it, end up melting wires or screwing something up. So I called the owner and said, look man, we're gonna have to, there's just no way around it, we're gonna have to pull the cab on it to make this thing right. So first thing I'll do is I'll pull the headlight buckets out, then we'll start pulling our cooler lines and stuff like that off, get the batteries and battery boxes out, get the intake air cleaner housing and off of it, get the degas bottle, battery box assembly, all that stuff unhooked, and then I'll have to pull these running boards off on this one because my lift arms, even with my extensions on there, they want to hit on the bottom right here on the frame part of the lift arms. They want to hit there, so which is no big deal. Take a cordless impact and a 13mm and just zip them off and throw them on the ground. So all right, well, let me start gathering up my tools, what I'm going to need here. And the first thing we'll do is we'll get these headlight buckets out of here and get them out of the way. All right, well, to be honest with you guys, I don't do these, well, I do a lot of 6 liters. I've only done 2 cabs on 6.4s, and the last one I did was about, and it was probably 2 or 3 years ago. So just bear with me. I'll have to kind of refresh my memory as I go along here. Okay. Get our grounds off first, and we'll get the ground off on the other side. Okay. All right. I need to get. I got to get another light. I'm gonna get a light and put underneath here so we can see what's going on a little better. Yeah, it should be a little better situation there. I think I need to get the positive cables off now, and then we can get the battery hold downs out. Stiff. Alright, we got a 5/16 there. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Why is my ratchet not working? That's not good. Battery already dead in it? Maybe the battery's dead in it. Let's try another battery. I just got this thing like 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Guess I'll put the charger. Oh, man, you got me. I hadn't even, I've used it for a couple days. I haven't had any problems. It's kind of weird. Taking that thing back and saying, hey man, I left it, you know, maybe I ought to put it inside the cab on that service truck. It's been getting so cold because when I got it out, you know, it was in my utility box and it was just solid frost all over it. I probably ought to be putting them cordless guns inside the cab, I think. Might not be a bad decision there. Alright, let's get the batteries out of it. This one's going to be tight the way it's crammed in there, but we can handle it. Okay, now I've got the air cleaner and all that stuff out of there. Let's get the air filter restriction indicator unplugged and mass airflow sensor. I'm going to discharge the air conditioner on it too. Recover that. Okay. Let's see here. This battery box out. I remember that part of it. What I'd like to do, just so there's not too many parts laying around everywhere, is just kind of thread these hold downs back in there. Way stuff doesn't get lost. It's easier when to put it back together. Alright. Okay. Let's just take it off down here. There that sumbitch goes again. Well, this thing's getting taken. This thing's gonna get taken back. This thing's really kind of starting to piss me off. It's gonna get taken back tonight to Home Depot where I got it. Milwaukee stuff I've had pretty good luck with, but this thing here is kind of starting to get on my nerves a little bit. Brand new tool, and you gotta take the battery out and pop it every time you wanna. Something's got a bad connection inside there. Okay, I gotta get something to get this cranky breather tube off of here. Screwdriver, get that off. And I don't have one out. A lot of guys tell me on some of my comments, which is fine, you know. I mean, just I'm a field mechanic. Most of 90% of the time, I'm always in the field. I'm always getting called out of the shop for something broke down. In the wintertime, it's feedlots. You know, feedlots and hay trucks on the road. You know, just anything I can. Logging equipment. Do a lot of logging stuff in the wintertime. So I get comments, hey, you know, why don't you just get them out of your toolbox or in the shop? Well, most of my stuff's on my service truck, and I got a lot of stuff in the toolbox too. But I'm working my way there, you know, as far as building up enough to stock a full shop and a full service truck. But it's just tough, you know, to stock everything you need. All right, let's get this battery box out of here. 13 millimeter. One there, one there, one there. How many hold downs and shit are there? I have to get all those loose too. We should be able to use this one here though for that. And I had a 13 millimeter there somewhere. Got this one for Christmas. I'm pretty happy with this little guy here. Did a water pump job last night on a 99 Suburban. It made that thing really easy. We zipped her right out of there with that thing. Okay. Still got to get this one loose here too, but we got to get the where that ratchet would come in handy right there. That cordless ratchet. Look at that thing. What the hell, you know? I don't know. Don't know what to think about that. So I'm probably gonna have to get a short socket. Huh. Weird. Alright. Yeah, I think I'll take it back tonight and say, yo, this thing here is regularly screwing up on me, and I just bought it 2 days ago, and I would like another one. Okay, I'm gonna get this degas bottle hose off here. Eventually I'll get all my tools out of my service truck and have them over there on the tool cart, and maybe I won't have to be making 3,000 trips back and forth. It's obviously not down as far as I thought it was, so I guess I'll drain the water and then I'll pull the degas bottle out. Well, your vacuum lines that are hooked to your degas bottle too off, and it should come out of here. Oh, I may get the water drained on it. Alright, so we got the antifreeze drained on her. See if we can get this degas bottle out of here. We might as well see if we can get it past that upper hose. Get my stool here. I have to pull that upper hose loose before I can get that out of there. I thought I got those out of there before without doing that. Now, I guess I'll pull that off real fast. This will clip off right here. Well, she's a little stiff. Wow, I'm having troubles. Usually they don't seem like they come off that hard. There it goes. Lucky schooner full. Yep. And then I got one hose here. I can get to it a little better now. Pop that clip off of there. Alright, just throw this thing in the back of the pickup here. Yeah, we needed to take that loose anyway. We gotta get our charger cooler lines off. Alright, I gotta get a drain pan and catch the drips that are coming out from here and get our lines off here. Get our intercooler hoses, get these loose. Okay, so I'm trying to get the right hand battery box out. This little air cleaner bracket, it'll bolt in over here, and it sits over the top like this, and it'll go right into there. So you got to pull that off, throw it in there, and you got to get your lines unhooked, discharge your air conditioner, and unplug that little vacuum line going down to the 4-wheel drive. Let's see, I got to get this AC line off of that. Okay. I think I need to pull this. Let's pull this intercooler line off of here. Damn, who put those hoses on there and suck that up right against the... How would you ever get the clamps off of that? That's kind of retarded, huh? Let's see if we can get this intercooler hose off of here. What size are these? I thought they were 10s, but they're... must be like 12 millimeter or something, huh? I was pretty sure they were 10s. Find my 10 millimeter. There it is. I left it laying up here on the cowl line up here. Can't get to the hose where it is. They put the clamps on the bottom where you can't. Thing, I don't know, it's gonna be tough to get it out of there the way it is with that hose like that, clocked the way it is. Nice to get it separated. Now I can probably, I wonder if I can get it down there the way it is. That ain't gonna happen, is it? See if I can get that far enough over to get that battery box. It's just not wanting to swing out. It's getting me, gotta get it out that way so I can get the window washer fluid bottle lines unhooked and everything. Time here. Yeah, we gotta unhook that line and the wires and the line down there. There we go. Usually they don't come out that tight. I'm forgetting something here, I know I am. Okay, yeah, where the battery cable is bracketed to the side of the case. I forgot about that. See if I can get that pop loose. Well, that's not cool. take it off right there, I guess. Well, that was a pain in the ass, wasn't it? Alright. Got here. I've got a service manual over there. I'm just going to follow the directions in the service manual because I don't remember. I know we're going to take starter wire off. That ground's going to have to come off. I know that. That's your starter wire. You can hook that to a positive on your, crank it over by hand if you need. If you don't have a remote starter switch handy. Alright, so I got to get that little ground loose right there. This is my cordless gun that I just bought. For some reason I gotta You explain that to me. If I blow on that, it works. Explain that shit to me. I don't get it. Alright, so we got the ground off. What else do we gotta do here? Let's check and see what else we gotta pull off. Alright, so we got the battery box unhooked, got it out, both of them. Yeah, there's the connector for the window washer, fluid tank. Alright, disconnect the electrical connector and clip from the PCM. Okay. Disconnect engine wire and harness located below the PCM. Okay, recover the refrigerant, did all that already, so let's unhook this connector here at the PCM. Push your little tab in. These can break on you too, these connectors. Sometimes you just gotta wiggle them and shake them and try not to force them. That one's not wanting to come loose, as usual. Yeah, they're kind of a piece of shit connector, if you ask me. Oh man, I'm having troubles with these. Be nice if I get to work on these things that weren't out in the dirt and shit all the time. I don't ever get to work on anything that's just a highway rig. Not around here. Everything I get to work on comes in an absolute fight. It's always out in the dirt. Alright, yeah, look at all the dirt in that. Unhook this right here. It's got a lock on it. Alright. Okay. All that unhooked. There's another ground wire, see there. Alright. So disconnect the engine wire harness. Okay, we did that. Okay. Remove the banjo fittings and sealing washers from the fuel cooler. Discard the sealing washers. So remove the banjo fittings and sealing washers from the fuel cooler. That would be right here. So those two lines right there will pull off. Those look like 18 or 19 millimeter. Alright, let's just take the banjo bolt clear out of it, and we'll thread it back into the fuel cooler. That'll keep some of the crap out of that fuel cooler. Well, that one there wasn't even tight. Huh. It's amazing that it wasn't leaking. It's crazy. I think that thing would have been leaking like a sieve. Like that. Okay, I'm sure we're going to be pulling these hoses Well, we're gonna be pulling that one off. Alright, remove the 3 turbocharger actuator cooling the front housing bolts. Remove the 3 turbocharger actuator cooler front housing bolts. Alright. Well, which ones are those? Actuator bolts. There's 1, 2, 3 there that I can see. You got these 3 bolts here. The actuator on the turbo. Okay. Probably gonna have to pop that C-clip off so you can get the linkage out of there, it looks like to me. I haven't really worked on the 6.4s that much. I've worked on the 6.7s more than I have the 6.4s. To be honest with you. I've changed the turbos on these things, and what else have I done to these things? Oh, the high pressure pump there in the valley, I've changed that on them. That's the most that I've done to these things. Alright, so there should be... I'm going to take fuel cooler off. Looks like to me you're going to be taking those 2 there and those 2 there. It looks like to me. Well, let's read the book and make sure, so we're not taking off more stuff than we have to. Alright, so we got those 3 mounting bolts for the actuator loosened up. Move the 2 fuel cooler mounting bolts. That would be those there. Move the studs for the fuel cooler. Okay. So we were on the right track. I think. Oh yeah, we just gotta take these 2 here off. 2 10s here. The bolt down there, that's good. 13mm for those 2. Here. All the guys that do this all the time going, God dang, you're slow, man. Now, if this was a 6-liter, I don't need a book for that. I work on a lot of 6-liters. Have for years. Gotten pretty damn good with 6.0s. I actually, a lot of guys don't like them. I like them just fine. I've got this one and another one, and I just bought another one out there. Okay, so these 2 studs here got to come off, which I was kind of expecting. This thing here, man, I don't know what to, I don't even know what to think about this thing. Gotta. Anybody ever seen that before? It's like, what the hell, man? You gotta take it off and blow in the son of a bitch there. Make it work. Crazy. Alright, 2 nuts here. Now, what do we gotta do? Gotta move the 3 bolts too, as shown. From the fuel cooler and fuel expansion tank. Okay, move the 3 bolts, yeah. That would be, yeah, those 2 right there. Should be 3 of them for this expansion tank. Alright, so they want us to take those 3 out. Those are 10mm. Oh, come on. Grabbed the wrong damn socket. Grabbed a 8mm instead of the 10mm. See if I can get the ratchet on that one. Alright, the actuator, they didn't say anything about that in the book. We're going to have to pull that C-clip off where the arm goes onto the turbo. They didn't say shit about that in the book. It is not wanting to come out of there. Not at all. That's not good. Should pop out of there. Yeah, it should pop right on out of there. Have to get a little punch or something and tap it out of there. I got this menagerie of shit unhooked. There's probably a reason I don't work on the 6.4s that much, because they were always a pain in the ass to work on. A lot of guys say the Duramaxes are the hardest ones to work on. Well, they're not easy to work on either. And I'll tell you what, they're easier than these 6.4s are to work on, I think. Junk out of the way. Wow. There's a shim underneath that too, so we got to keep track of that shim where it goes there. Okay, alright, we're going to disconnect our charger cooler line here. disconnected like they wanted. Okay. Alright, so we did that, right and left sides, those are both loose. Disconnect the radiator hose from the top of the upper shroud and position side. Disconnect left connector for full drive vacuum switch. Okay. Alright, so would be this thing right here. Oh, let's go pop this up. This hose here is going over to here. We need a pair of pliers to pop it off here. Wow, that's a real dandy spot they put that in. Alright, the electrical connector for forward drive vacuum switch. And I'm sure the vacuum line, let's see, is it gonna, will it stay with the body? It should stay, this all should stay here with it. Should be fine. Come up with the cab. We gotta get this off though. Let's see, I need to get another tool out. I don't have enough tools out yet. I don't quite have everything that I own out yet. See if I can reach back in there with these needle nose pliers and get that clamp off. I hate those spring-loaded hose clamps. I guess I'm just old-fashioned, I guess. Okay. Now we got that off, okay. Alright, what do they want to do next here? Disconnect forward drive vacuum hose. This side, that's already done. Remove the two upper bolts from the radiator shroud. Remove the two lower bolts from the upper radiator shroud. Remove the shroud. Alright. That would be that bolt. That one, he's got a shroud that is broken too. There should be a bolt in it down there, and there's not one in it. And there's one down there. Alright, so I'm going to need a long extension to get down on that one. Ugh. I don't think the 6-inch extension is going to be long enough. Nope, I need a 9-inch extension. Let's go get another tool out of the service truck. Pretty soon I'll have the whole goddamn service truck out on the hood of the pickup there. I got a 9-inch extension. You know what? I think I already got it out. Yep, it's laying on the tool cart, right? I didn't even have to walk over there. I already had the damn thing out. There might be an engine underneath this pile of shit somewhere. Alright, let's lay these right here for now. They're brand new pipes that we're trying to change. And we'll pull this pile of shit out of here. There we go. More junk. Alright, now what other plastic junk do they want us to pull off this thing? Disconnect the heater hose from the left hand side of the engine. What are they calling the left-hand side? Are they calling it the left-hand side from sitting in the seat of the vehicle, or from standing there facing the radiator? Alright. Disconnect heater hose from the left-hand side of the engine. Disconnect the heater hose from the right-hand side of the engine. So I guess we'll just go to both sides of it. Remove the nut and disconnect the compressor manifold tube assembly from the accumulator. Tube assembly from the accumulator. Okay, well. Alright, heater hoses. Where are the heater hoses at? Okay, so I'm seeing a heater hose. Alright, I mean, those are two heater hoses right there. That one's going clear around. Okay, so I'm guessing take that one there off. Over there. And the other one comes around right here to this plastic piece of shit here. Okay, that's real nice. They had a plastic tube there. I could see me breaking that real easy. But I'm going to need a better pair of pliers, I think, than what I've got. Get that loose. Here they are. These will work right here. Alright. Yeah. Man, why didn't they make that out of metal? See if we can support it with one hand and pull with it. Actually, you know what? It came off of there fairly easy. Let's just cram it over here. Back behind the master cylinder, because we know the master cylinder will go up with the body. Alright. Got both heater hoses off, and I even forgot what the other step was. Compressor, accumulator, or something or other. So they want us to take that union where they got the hose buckled together there. They want us to take that loose. Remove the nut and disconnect the compressor manifold tube from the condenser. Disconnect it. Oh, I thought it said discard it. I'm like, why in the hell would you throw that away? There from the right hand side of the engine. We already did that. Let's go take this shit off now. Alright, let's find out where they want us to disconnect this at. It's looking like maybe right here. Alright guys, we gotta get the I got the two nuts. The dogs are having a hell of a good time over there, wrestling with each other. Let's see here. I got the two nuts off the brake master cylinder going to the Hydro Boost brake booster. We gotta take these two lines loose here that go to, these are going from the brake booster, Hydro Boost brake booster, down to the steering gearbox. 21mm and an 18mm. God, they got wires wrapped around those hoses and all kinds of stuff there. Well, that wasn't very tight, was it? Got a romper room going on over there. Be some dripping crap coming out of there. pop the little bracket off that's sitting over the top of the stud on the brake booster that's keeping the master cylinder from coming off. Okay, so that step is completed. Let's just start the nuts that were on the studs of the brake booster and start them back on there so we don't lose those. I see a sealing washer that fell off one of the fuel cooler lines. I'm glad I've seen that. Let's lay it up here on the cowling for right now. Okay, I think the next project here, okay, here's something I want to stress to you guys on these. Pull the key out of these things and turn them to where the steering wheel will actually lock. I'm going to turn the steering wheel to where it's straight, to where that bolts for the steering shaft is straight up and down, and then see if I can get it to lock. What you want to do is you want to get that locked, and once you get this separated here, do not turn that wheel. You know, make sure the key's off and it's in the lock position, because there's a clock and spring. What they call clock and spring, what it is a bunch of fiber tape that's wrapped around in a big coil in there inside that steering wheel, and that's what provides you all your power to your cruise control buttons, and if you've got audio buttons or anything like that on your steering wheel. What'll happen is if you get this out here, you'll have to reclock that thing and retime it in there. It'll screw it all up. So word of caution, once you get that steering tube unhooked there, don't turn it. That wheel's getting a little bit crooked. See, I got the key out of it right now. I don't know if these 6.4s actually even lock, though. I don't think they lock. No. I mean, it's in park and it's not really locking. I don't know if the steering wheels actually lock on these newer pickups anymore like they used to be honest with you. Just gonna have to be careful not to turn it. Alright, 13mm. Let's see if the 3/8 cordless will take that off. If we're gonna have to get, usually those are pretty tight, but 3/8 gun may not take it off. Oh yeah, no problem. It's a powerful little gun. Yep, just make sure that one doesn't turn. And I've actually took a piece of bungee cord, and tied them to where they wouldn't turn before too. Okay, see what the next step is. I think we're getting pretty close to, a lot of this stuff we'll have to tie up out of the way to where when it goes up it won't interfere with anything on the engine. Let's see what our service manual says. Okay, we got those two. Remove the bolt from the hood release assembly. And alright guys, so we're going to get underneath this thing and take the running boards off, because my lift arms want to hit there when I pull the cabs on these. Then we're going to start unhooking all the transmission shift cable and stuff like that. There's a ground underneath here we got to unhook. But let's get a 13mm, and I left my flashlight somewhere over here. What did I do with that? There it is. Oh. Alright. Go to the other side and zip that one off. It doesn't take long to take those off anyway. Look at all the cow shit underneath this thing. Good grief, man. You know, years ago, my buddy's dad, he worked for a fertilizer company, and he had a pretty good idea. He took one of their big, you know, irrigation booster pumps, and he had took a piece of pipe, and then he took a drill and drilled a bunch of holes. It looked like a 4-inch piece of pipe, and then he ran that water through it, and then the discharge of the pipe on the other end and went back into the pump pipeline. But that pressure was coming through all those holes, and they would drive that equipment right over the top of that pipe, real slow. In that, you know, you're talking like 80 psi, 100 psi of water pressure with all those holes, and it'd blow up underneath those vehicles and just wash them out really good. And, you know, I think I might do something like that. Wash some of these things out underneath before you work on them. What a filthy pig. Alright. Okay, we gotta take this ground wire off right here. The nice thing about these 2008s and newers is that the cab mounts bolt from the bottom. You don't have to pull the seats out from them like the 6 liters. You had to pull the seat out and pull the carpet up in the floor and all that stuff so you could get those out of there. And something that the book doesn't usually tell you is you got to unhook these ABS wheel speed sensors. I'll have to get something to tap on it, kind of break that clip loose so it'll come out of there. But you need to unhook those too. So your transmission shift cable's got to come out of there. And I'll have to get a screwdriver. And what I do usually is, instead of taking this bracket loose and screwing, because that'll screw with your adjustment on your cable, I just take the 2 bolts and the brackets out right here and pop it loose. It don't take long. Take a screwdriver, pop that off. Yeah, let's go get these running boards out of the way. And we'll have to get that stuff loose. We still gotta get our transmission cooler lines loose. These guys here, they own a couple of ranches, big ranches with cattle, and these poor old pickups are not out on the pavement too much. Get her up on my bolts. Okay. ratchet and see if I can get the shift cable.
So just
off.
pop your shift cable off. If it'll pop off, usually come off that hard. Got one of the transmission speed sensors bracketed to that, or fastened to that bracket. Where'd my damn screwdriver go? I just had in my hand. Damn it. Wow. It did not make that very easy. Getting that off. Alright. Put these bolts back in the transmission case. God, look at the carbon underneath this thing. Jesus. It was leaking bad. No wonder it didn't have any boost or any power. Just losing it all before it gets to the turbo. Take the transmission cooler lines off down here where these quick connect fittings are. And I have the special tool. There it is right there. AST 8023. I got that off the Snap-on truck. Even with the special tool, I mean, I tried getting them loose just now, and they're just a pain in the ass. I hate those things. I always have trouble with those. So, I remember what I used to do now on the other two cabs that I pulled on these 6.4s. I had the same problems as I did there. So, what you can do here is those cooler lines just come up right here. Just take them off right here. It's a hell of a lot easier than messing with them quick connects. Get you a drip pan, because it'll have some dripping going on there. It'll come off of there. It's not wanting to come off. You gotta love these spring-loaded clips. I don't know, some guys said they like them. I kind of old-fashioned. I just like a damn regular old hose clamp. Gosh dang, that's coming off hard. Oh my gosh. Wow. They are on there. There we go. Gee whiz. Golly. Man, they are on there. Hose barbed on there. Man. Wow. That sucked. Okay, let that drip down into our pan. Well, as you can see, I pulled the lower radiator hose off, and every time I do that I get a bath, and antifreeze goes everywhere. It's kind of unavoidable. I'll show you what you got to take off there. We're going to pull body mounts now, and then we're pretty close to start lifting. Let me get under here without ripping the camera off my head. Okay, there's your lower hose. There's two little plastic brackets that hold it to the frame. Take those loose and then pop the hose itself loose. It's got one of those little wire clips that go just like everything else on these 6.4s. And we're going to start pulling body mounts off. 15 millimeter. I got that. And that one's spinning, I think. That's not good. Let's look at the other one here. I think there's a nut on, I can't remember. There's a nut on top here on these or not. There is. And they must be spinning inside. That's great. You're not supposed to do that, by the way. That sucks ass. Let's try the back ones. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get the front ones loose. Okay. Loctite it in there. Well, shoot, I've never had one with this many of the capture nuts spin on the inside. So this one's going to take a while to get the cab off this one. That one's spinning. That one's out. We got two back here that are spinning. Both the ones on the back are spinning on us. That's absolutely wonderful. The book says you're supposed to not use the power tool on it, but I've done that before too and used it by hand, and they still wouldn't come out. They spun in there. They just spun by hand. Hey guys, if you guys have ever run into one of these 2008 through 2010s Fords, see, these things have a, I'm sorry I'm panting. I've been working my ass off, like I've been fighting with a damn grizzly bear getting these cab mounts bolts out. The captured nuts are just spinning. So I'm on my last one. These front ones get you a 22mm end wrench, open ends, all you can be able to get on it because it's too narrow of a gap between the top of this and the nut. You can't get the box end on it. And if you can see that, wedge it back down in there on top of the nut, and basically it's a fight. God, they just got so much Loctite on them. It's crazy, man. And can't use an impact because it'll just keep, well, maybe if you had somebody else helping you and holding the wrench, but your wrench won't stay on it with the impact. I have to put this on my hat. What a fight. I'll sleep good tonight. And they all just come out hard the entire way. I mean, about the last two threads you might be able to get it out by hand, spin it out with your fingers, but I mean, it's just a hard pull the whole way. What a pain in the ass. I don't think the cab's ever been off of this one. Most of them, if the cabs have been off, they usually come out of there fairly easy. But I don't think this one's ever been off. And it's a son of a bitch. I got a long-handled, flex-headed half-inch drive ratchet. That's a pretty long ratchet, and that's a pretty good pull with that. And the initial brake loose was like, holy shit, these things are tight. Oh. It's taking me forever to get these cab mount bolts out. I should already had the cab off. Wouldn't have been for these cab mount bolts, I'd have had this thing off 2 hours ago. That's why I don't charge by the book, because shit like this happens all the time, and then you lose your ass. Maybe you guys got things figured out better than I do, but it seems like I'm always running into something like this. Something that won't come loose, or I guess I could have took a cutting torch and just blew the heads off the bolts and then pulled the cab up and then figured out how to get the bolts and captured nuts out the top, but I figured now we'll just do it like this and not screw anything up. Oh, arms are getting tired. Shit, you just go on one bolt till your arm cramps up. You gotta quit and rest for a while. Never knew it was this big of a deal to hold the cab on. I know the cabs on tractors aren't near as hard to get off, or the cabs are, how should I say that? The cabs are still fairly easy to get off, but the cab mount bolts aren't hard to get out like this. They're not Loctited in there, and they're on a lot rougher terrain than these pickups are. I just don't really see the need for all the Loctite and shit on the cab mount bolts. Kind of seems kind of stupid to me, but I didn't know they had a huge problem with cabs falling off going down the road, but oh my god, I finally got her. Last one. Now I can. Alright. Look at how many threads you gotta cut. threads to get out of there. Holy shit. Nobody ever said it was gonna be easy. Alright, well, we gotta get our lift arms set up. I'm gonna take a breather. Got our lift arms situated. I forgot to tell you guys, take your e-brake cable off. You'll have to, I take a pair of vice grips and I'll just grab the cable and pull some slack and then pinch it to where it comes up against the frame, where it goes through that grommet hole, and then pull the two, you know, that, let me show you here. You know, if you've seen the e-brakes, it's got that little turnbuckle type deal there, quick connect, and then pop it loose. That one there I had to vibrate on it with the air hammer to get the son of a bitch loose. What do you think, Duke? See if we can get the cab raised up on it. Are we gonna rub back here anywhere? Do we need to raise it up? And sometimes you gotta raise these up and roll the body back a little bit. Climb under there and put the transmission in neutral and then roll the body back. There's that socket I was looking for right there. Okay, let's make sure that these are all still situated good. I started putting a little bit of up pressure on it. Make sure they're not slipping off where they're supposed to be or anything. Kind of lift on it a little bit, and then I'll have to come back and make sure I got all the wires and everything loose that I should have, you know. It all looks good so far. Alright, well, climb out from under here and let's lift on her a little more, and then we'll have to make sure something's not hanging or snagging up there on the hood or something. Alright, let's go a little bit. Cab's coming out. Let's go look at it on the front end here. Starting to come up. Make sure we're not rubbing and scratching all the paint off. Sometimes I've had to roll these back sometimes, especially if they've had a fuel tank or something in the back and they've let it slide forward and bend the bed all up against the cab. Yeah, you can have problems there. Alright, let's get our stool and take the headlight bucket and lay it over here. Okay, so that should all come past the stator and all that stuff, the fan stator. The intercooler hose should stay with that and just come on up. We're gonna have to take that ground loose. We're gonna have to take the ground loose right there from where it goes. Is that ground, or that's like a cab feed? That's just a cab feed wire's what it is. I'm gonna have to take it loose right there. I don't care. I always forget something, guys. I ain't perfect. I sure try to do my best though to keep from mangling something up. Just go a little bit at a time and make sure all the stuff's clearing on it. Let's pop this loose here. I've had these things on halfway up in the air and had to let them back down because I forgot to do something, and yeah. I don't think this thing's ever been off here, to be honest with you.
something to wedge that off. Oh, there's so much shit on these things. Would it be easier? No. It'd be easier just to pull it loose from the cab. Golly, what a pain in the ass. Alright, I got that loose. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I'm not messing something else. I'm gonna hang something else up here. That is the high pressure line going to the accumulator, so that should stay with everything here. Go up with this mess. Okay, let's check out the other side. Make sure there's something else hanging up on it. Steering tube's undone. Wiring harnesses there are undone. Brake master cylinder, it'll stay with the engine and frame. Okay. This intercooler hose is not hanging on something, is it? About the only way you can ever get that intercooler hose out. That's a partial lift on the cab. Okay, let's go a little more, and then we'll climb up underneath the pickup and make sure there's nothing hanging there. Let's get on the creeper and climb underneath and make sure we don't have anything. Where is my creeper? I don't know. Nothing hanging here anywhere. On the body underneath. Ground strap's loose. Over here. This is all looking pretty good here. Oh, I see one wire here. What is that hanging up on there? That is attached to the body up there. We don't want that. Shift cable is undone. We should be good to go underneath. How about all these lines and all this shit here? Okay, I got that one loose. Cooler lines are loose there. You know what I forgot? I forgot the hood release latch. See? Absent-minded bastard. Find my extension for my 1/4" drive set. Take that off. Oh man, I'll tell you that. Them cab mounts, boy, what a fight they were. Just an ass kicker. All right. See what we got now. Nothing hanging up here
I see so far, that goes over there. These are these lines right here. The power steering. And they should stay with all this other stuff. We'll have to watch those. They'll kind of get hung up on you. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I've had some help before doing these, and it's nice when you got two people watching things. When you're doing it by yourself, you just got to kind of walk around and make sure shit's not getting hung up. And now that transmission tube, okay, that's not gonna, that should be fine. All right, let's go a little further. Okay, how we doing here? Looking good so far. What about, okay, make sure that our transmission actuator and all this stuff, make sure none of that stuff's going to get hung up and get all dicked up on us. Then we're going to have to watch where the fan speed sensor wires come down, make sure that doesn't get rubbed on that and tear that all to hell. Is that going to hang on the... Alright, we should be alright now. Heater hose is coming free. Alright. Go a little further. Okay. So far, so good. I don't want those lines even hitting my steering tube and moving my steering wheel in there, getting my clock and spring out of whack and all that. Let's just shove them down here. Okay, those will stay there. So far so good here. Oh, we got a ground here. Is that ground on the frame there? What is that? Let's look at that. I see a ground wire. Alright. Okay. I think we're pretty much ready to go on up with it now. Let's look underneath one more time. Make sure there's nothing up underneath the body, up underneath here. Look, hanging up on us. Doesn't hurt to triple and quadruple check this stuff to make sure stuff's coming up, not hanging up on you, because I'll tell you what, it can cost you a lot of money out of your pocket if you tear this guy's wire and harness up or something because you didn't unhook something. Let's look at the cab where it meets the bed, make sure we're not rubbing there. Sometimes you just got to roll the frame and the bed back a little bit. Boy, I think we need to roll it back a little bit. I think we better roll it back a little bit. Oh, let's go up underneath here. Grab the shift lever. We're in park. Let's go to reverse, neutral. And let's just see if we can grab the tire. We don't need to come back far. Give us a little bit of a gap there, maybe. I need a block to stick under that, I think is what I need. Oh, let's take this wrist pin out of this Cummins and shove it in front of the tire when we rock this thing back a little bit. How's that? better there. A little gap there now. Here, we got something aftermarket in here, it looks like. Got some aftermarket stuff wired in here. Okay, what do we got? That's what'll really get you. They've wired a bunch of stuff in there, and you didn't pull it off, and then it rips all that shit out of there. I don't know what the hell. That's been broke, whatever it was going to, for a long time. Okay. How about our gap back here? Should clear all right. Pretty good, guys, looking pretty good. We are clear, pretty much everything on it. Let's go on up with it. Okay. Let's let the lift down on the locks. Alright guys, here we are. As you can see, look at all the carbon all over the back of the firewall. It's bad, really bad. That one's broke loose there and leaking. Figure out there's something else going on here. This pipe here must be broke loose really bad. I'm trying to figure out where most of the leak is coming from on it. It's not the down pipe. The down pipe looks to be good. Nothing wrong with it. Looks like most of it's coming from this side over here. I got new up pipes and everything for it. Man, where is... Must be leaking mostly out of these flex joints here on this pipe. It's got to be. I'll tell you what we're going to do while we're here. We're going to pull the turbo and reseal it while we've got it apart. It's just a real smart thing to do. These are the bolts here. I couldn't get them some bitches out of there. I just couldn't get them out. Yeah, this one here is blowing carbon everywhere on it. It's broke loose and leaking everywhere. So, see if we can get all this stuff loose now. But there it is, guys. Got the cab up in the old 6.4. What a project. I'll be back next time when we're putting all this other stuff back together.